Alright, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Real Talk video. I pray y'all are having a wonderful, blessed day as we thank the Most High for so much. My title now says Hurricane Katrina. I've been meaning to do this video a while back. Let me give a shout out to you, Life Goes On 31. You want to know my take on what I believe happened with Hurricane Katrina. Now, I'm going to say some things in this video that it's not too many people going to really understand, because I'm coming from a spiritual standpoint. Not about what the media showed you and CNN and all these opinions and what I think happened, but from a spiritual standpoint. I really want to title this video "The Weather as a Weapon of Mass Destruction. Because a lot of people don't understand in the spiritual realm that the weather has been tampered with for a long time now. If you ever seen the videos I did about HAARP, then this video will make more sense to you if you go back and look at the little series I did about HAARP, H-A-A-R-P. A lot of people don't think that the devil, who is the prince of the power of the earth, they don't think that demons and Satan's posse can mess with the weather. And the Bible teaches you that the weather can be messed with by the evil ones. Now, a lot of people might not see it while they're studying. They may have overlooked it, but it's plain as day in the word of the Most High. If you think I'm lying, just go back to the account of Job. When God, the Most High Yah, allowed Satan to do what he wanted with Job, except he couldn't have Job's soul. So he tampered with the weather then, just to cause things to happen on Job's family and Job. Now, Revelation especially teaches you about signs and wonders, things that's happening from heaven, and the Most High showed us in the Word he's not even the one doing it. See, when you understand that alone, then you would stop saying that, well, God is to blame for all these hurricanes and things that we see, and typhoons and tornadoes. And see, which God are you talking about? Because the God of this world is Satan. See, if that's why I say it's not going to be too many people that's going to catch what I'm saying, because Satan has already blinded the minds of the unbelievers. That's why so many people think that it's the Most High, doing everything. First of all, when you start talking about a flood, I have to laugh, y'all, in a good way. The Most High made a covenant that he would never destroy the earth again with water, with a flood. So that tells you off top, that wasn't the Most High. That's the whole point of the rainbow. That's the covenant that was made with us, mankind. So, and then you read scriptures like Matthew 24, and chapter 24, or Mark 13, or Luke 21. You start looking at the beginning of sorrow. You start looking at birth pains. You start looking at when our Savior said it was going to be earthquakes in diverse places, starvation, things that was going to be happening to the earth. And he didn't say that he was the one doing it. You know why? Because Revelation teaches you it was the evil one doing all this. Well, I don't agree with that, JT. That's fine. You don't have to agree with it. You don't have. Maybe it's not for you to understand. But to those that are truly studying, y'all know that the Bible shows us that the weather can be messed with. Now, big brother, you want to know my take on Hurricane Katrina. I had to get that out of the way first so we can move forward. Now, you said, do I believe Hurricane Katrina was planned? Do I believe it was all a setup? You best believe it. I call this the destroy and rebuild plan for profit. If you ever listen to me, brother, you'll hear me say religion makes money. War makes money. The penitentiary makes money. Excuse me. Any way that the evil people can continue to see a way to make money, they don't care how many people gotta die. And here go the biggest thing I want to point out: population control. See, the government is controlled by Satan. That's why you keep hearing about all this New World Order stuff, the NWO. Man, that ought to been here. A lot of people just now, they starting to wake up and see it. The media is ran by the evil ones. Now, if you just happen to be from Katrina, Hurricane Katrina, let me just say New Orleans, and you looking at this video, my heart, back then and still now, went out to all the people in New Orleans. That was so messed up. When you gotta relocate, when you have watched your whole family being wiped out, that's nothing to laugh about. Now, I know people was out there looting and stealing, and you got stupid people in every race. Let's just keep that real. All this stuff you see, then you got to understand there's people that's watching. Everything you saw was not what you truly saw. I'm not saying everything was fake, but a lot of stuff, you know what I'm talking about, didn't make sense. How they can Photoshop a lot of stuff. But then a lot of people did die. A lot of people did, drown. You see, I know people that's from New Orleans that's down here. And when they tell the story, when they was in the Astrodome, the Superdome, whatever it's called, man, the stories will blow your mind, but they made it. They survived. But most of them didn't survive. As a matter of fact, our beautiful sister Lady D came from New Orleans when she moved down here. Now she's back, but Lady D got out just in the right time. Now, the reason I'm going to keep saying is the media is controlled and ran by the devil. When you start talking about these ones with all the money, the ones with all the wickedness, you know who I'm talking about. You can't believe half of what you hear on CNN. I won't even say a fourth of what you see or hear. Now, once again, my heart goes out to the people from New Orleans. I don't get on camera or off camera and bash and be like, that's what they get, man. That city's so messed up. That's what they get for all that wickedness. Wickedness, I know everywhere I go I see wickedness. But we know who the real enemy is. This battle, once again, is not against flesh and blood. Now, this prince of the power of the earth, the God of this world, is doing so much now, y'all. And so many people can't see Satan because they thinking it's the Most High. I'm going to say it again. So many people can't see what Satan doing because they think it's the Most High. They blaming everything, every hurricane, every typhoon, every tornado, everything that they see. Oh, that's God. Now, Hurricane Katrina, the state knew their responsibility. The federal government, they knew the responsibility. And when they did tell people to evacuate, did they really honestly have enough time to evacuate? See, with all this technology, my brothers and sisters, you know they knew what was coming and what was going to really happen, especially if you're the one that set it up. Do I believe all this was planned? Yeah. Same thing I said about 9/11. You got all this war going on. And when it comes to the poor, just like in the Bible, the poor was always overlooked. Now, everybody ain't poor, but our Savior always said the poor would always be amongst us. I'm talking about people that's really poor, not poor stewards. People that's really poor and down and out. See, Tupac said in one of his songs, it's amazing how they got money for wars but can't feed the poor. They spend so much on war. And that's what it's all about, money. Because once again, war is a business. Religion is a business. Prison is a business. This is stuff that church folks don't want to talk about. And I'm going to tell you something else. Something else going to happen. And when stuff like this happen, it shakes so many people up, and then they want to come together. Just like 9/11. Do I believe 9/11 was planned? You best to believe it. I did a video about that already. It's sad what we living in, y'all. It's sad. When you got to think about this. Population control once again. If you can find a way how to kill people, if you can find a way to stop people from being born, come on now. Population control. The earth is so overpopulated that they're going to continue to do whatever they got to do to stop people from getting here. Babies being born. Why you think they made so much money off birth control pills? Why you think they made so much money off abortion? Why do you think that everything the Bible say don't do, they start doing it? A whole lot of this stuff about Katrina, I saw the evil one hand on it. I had a friend of mine who drove 18-wheelers. He went down there to give out food and water and clothes and you know, little material things and stuff that they needed. They wouldn't even let him come in to help. So what they tell you? They stopped the power trucks from going in. Y'all better turn around. Y'all can't come in here. Why did it take FEMA so long to get there? When 9/11 happened, FEMA was there the next day, 9/12. But it took them, what, almost a week for New Orleans? It just don't add up, do it, y'all? Now, it's amazing how the Bush administration thought an elective war would make America safer. Why am I saying that? Because when you saw that happen, then all of a sudden, Katrina hit. Just like that. But see, you got to understand the Iraq war, some may pronounce it. Even Obama called it a man-made disaster. I remember this. When you look at New Orleans, y'all, during the past century, hurricanes done flew through New Orleans, have flooded New Orleans 6 times. You can trace it back, study. You can go back to 1915, 1940, 1947, 1965, 1969, and then look at what happened. Katrina hit in 2005. Now, one brother told me when this happened, "Hey, bro, that was God's judgment on New Orleans. Think about New Orleans, man." This how he was talking. Think about New Orleans, man. Say New Orleans, man. I'm talking about New Orleans. Known for Mardi Gras, Satan worship. They known for sex perversion. They known for all type of drugs and alcohol. Man, New Orleans is a wicked city. You know what I told him? Say, bro, I'm in Dallas, Texas, D-Town, and we just like them. You talking about murder, drugs, dope, sexual acts. That's all over. That ain't just New Orleans, and it ain't just Vegas, Sin City. You can look in Chicago. You can look at Detroit. You can look all over. You can look in so many places and see wickedness. That's why I always say America is nothing but a modern day Sodom and Gomorrah. I can't just, me personally, I can't just point New Orleans out and be like, man, they say they worse than we are. Because there's some stuff that go on down here, man. Ain't no different. From killing, murdering, on down, you name it, it goes down in Dallas, Texas. So, it's funny what people say when it don't hit their house. Now, it's amazing. I'll be wondering what would they say if it hit their place next. I love people from New Orleans. My partner Debo, if you just happen to ever see this video, I don't even know where you at right now, but Debo was from New Orleans. Cool, one of the coolest brothers I ever met. But, once again, our Savior warned us about these things that was going to happen. Birth pains, beginning of sorrows. But he never said my father was doing this. See, we have to catch what the Bible is showing us. Now, some people looking at this video may not even believe in the Bible. But the thing I want to point out also is the Most High don't have to try to destroy something. If the Most High want to take something out, he takes it out, he wipes it out clean, and it ain't no growing back from it. You think I'm lying? Go back to the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah. That's why they never grew back at all. It's just wasted land. Because when the Most High destroys, that's it. Ain't no rebuilding. Once again, he made a covenant with us to never destroy the earth with flood again. That's a covenant. When have you ever seen the Most High back out on a covenant? Never. See, when you understand and you start studying these things that they shooting up in the atmosphere, when you start talking about HAARP, HAARP, stands for High Frequency Active Aurora Research Program, think about that alone, high frequency. And you wonder why it's so secretive. You can't just walk over there and walk in them buildings and see that out there on that land, what's being shot, all them kilowatts. See, my boy, Jesse the Body Ventura did some, he did a research on this, and it's on YouTube. I think it's still on her. And they ain't even want to let the man in there because it's so secretive. You look at things like HAARP, and then, like I was saying about the news, you start watching CNN all the time. TV programming. TV programming. I'm going to say that one more time. TV programming. Television. Think about that. Television. Tell your vision. I believe Eddie Griffin said this. Tell your vision. I ain't taking no credit on that. Eddie Griffin said that in one of his stand-ups. Tell your vision. All this programming your vision to see what they want you to see. That's why half of us ain't gonna never stop marching. We still too stupid and chasing down the wrong people. Flesh. I want to be equal. You trying to get equal with a satanic system that was never set up for you to even live in. That's why he told us to be, we in this world, but not of this world. Yeah, we got to live here, but you don't supposed to be of it. That's why you'll never see me marching and doing all this old crazy stuff and holding up signs. You're going to be doing that the rest of your life. But let me get back on topic here, because I can say so much about that, but they have shot some things up in the atmosphere that has caused so many things to happen with the weather. See, this is way deeper than just talking about New Orleans. They have been dropping underwater nuclear weapons underground that causes all kind of earthquakes. But you know what the media tell you it is? Oh, them just natural earthquakes. So they keep giving you fake information on the news. Look at how the government treat their own veterans. Some of y'all still don't believe with all this technology that they can't mess with the weather. Can hurricanes be used as a weapon of mass destruction? You best believe it. And then, I hate to say this, but I'm going back to FEMA. The FEMA camps, the response. The government response back alone was, that just should show you something, that they didn't care about how many people was really dying or have already died. Because you know why? It wasn't their family. That's why Bush didn't care about war. It wasn't his family. See, people that's not in the wars fighting, they don't care nothing about the ones that's really dying. They look, like I say, look at how they do their own veterans. I'm trying to keep this on the topic with New Orleans, but it's so much that ties in together because it's all boiling down to this wicked government. The White House is full of demons. I'm not scared to stand on this stuff. Y'all know me. I'm not scared to tell the truth. Bush Senior. Let me say this: when you, boy, so much running through me, y'all. When you track down the bloodline, when you start looking at president after president after president after president. I'm going to tell y'all, ever do a deep study on that, just look at what they got in common. But, once again, when 9/11 hit, it didn't take FEMA long at all. But, when you start talking about poor people, especially if the majority of that place is filled with blacks, Latinos, a little bit of whites, they will always try to destroy what they think is the poorest place. Because the rich stay rich by robbing the poor. This weather has been being used as a weapon of mass destruction that has been going on like this for years to make money, y'all. To make money. I'll tell you something else about this. Why I call it a weapons of mass destruction. When you talk about gas prices, oil prices, fighting over oil, when you talk about the economy, something has to be destroyed. Something has to look like a huge disaster. Because when you destroy, then you can rebuild. But in that process of rebuilding, a whole lot of people get broke off. They get paid. They get money. They get rich. So if you can see a setup to destroy, oh, I need to get paid for this video. Then you'll use it by any means necessary. You will use whatever you have to make that money. And once again, you don't care how many people die. They want control of everything. What else happened after Katrina? Oil prices went sky high. And when the oil stay up, best believe the gas gonna stay up. Y'all remember back then, $4, $5 for a gallon? 1 gallon? Yeah. Stayed up there for how long? The economy. See, do you think the enemy cares once again about how many people got to get hit? They want to control the planet. If you destroy New Orleans like they did, then you got to rebuild it once again. Who do you think is making the billions, I'm going to say trillions of dollars when it's being rebuilt? It ain't the people that staying there. Not the ones who have lost all their people in the flood. They overlooked. You know they benefited financially from Hurricane Katrina. You know they benefited from 9/11. They benefited off, if I had to guess at it, I would say off Katrina they probably made trillions of dollars. They probably gained so many huge profits from the high oil prices. Who do you think get them trillions of dollars in contracts to rebuild New Orleans? Where does all that money go? You can buy the destroyed, the damaged property for what? Pennies on a dollar? It's tore up. It's damaged. So you can buy that out and then think about the banks. Ooh, huge profit. They got huge amounts of interest on the loans that was made to the U.S. government, corporations, and people who gonna need what? Financing for rebuilding. Money, 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 money. Which is the love of money is the root of all evil. It's all about money. Once again, that's why I call this the destroy and rebuild plan for profit. This same thing was used in World War I and World War II. Y'all remember last year when I talked about them planes that you see way up in the sky, shooting out all that little white stuff, them chemical trails, things that's falling, that's hitting the earth, messing up the water, messing up the food. And most people see that stuff and they be like, oh, that plane just blowing out smoke. We better wake up, y'all. What you see, if you spiritually looking, you are woke. But if you're not spiritually awake, you're going to keep listening to that CNN. The government response to Katrina didn't shock me one bit, y'all. I knew it was going to go like it was going to go. It always goes like that. New Orleans New Orleans was already one of the poorest metropolitan areas in the United States in 2005 when this happened. And I'm not saying that to talk bad about New Orleans. I'm saying that's a proven fact. When you start talking about New Orleans and then you start looking around in different places of this world, you see things, you see places that's very, very poor, y'all. So if you hit the poorest area, that's a come up for the ones in control. But once again, it's not a come up for the ones who stay there. The rich will always rob the poor. See, a lot of people think I'm talking crazy in this video. What you mean, JT? That was a disaster, man. Was it really? You mean to tell me they can make money off of Katrina? You mean to tell me they can make money off 9/11? You mean to tell me they can make money off of messed up property that's damaged and old, and they have to rebuild and they get trillions of dollars? Study. I dare you to study. If you know anybody that knows something about business, or if you know yourself, then you're gonna agree with this video. If you understand that religion is money, if you understand the penitentiary once again is a business, all this is a business. It's all the fight over who gonna control what and who gonna own what and who. Man, when you start talking about these federal banks, when you start talking about people in high rank positions, these wicked ones, it's a lot of stuff going down that you don't even know about because they won't tell you. They got to keep you confused. One thing the media always promote is fear. But see, one thing about me, I don't have no fear. Because fear and faith don't mix. That's why I don't mind talking about nothing on there. I ain't worried about the one that can harm the body for sure. Somebody want to kill me, they just help me cross on over into glory. I'll pray for you. The Bible teaches you don't fear the one that can harm the body. Satan's job is to kill, steal, and destroy. But he's killing more people spiritually. Look like than physically. When you messed up here, when you in spiritual prison, Satan loves that. He loves that. It's so hard to stay with just talking about New Orleans because all of this ties in together. And I'm going to try to wrap this video up because I didn't want it to be too long. But when you start talking about the elder folks, people on fixed income, people that's low income, people that's sick, people that's homeless, all of this was in New Orleans. Do you think they really wanted to take out time and evacuate, homeless people, low income people, sick people? When you start talking about Ninth Ward got hit so hard. They always look down on Ninth Ward. You mean to tell me, JT, you mean to tell me the government didn't have no evacuation plan? You tell me. They couldn't see this coming. They didn't know about the levees. Y'all catch what I'm saying? That's why I say somebody looking at this video, tell me, I'm going to close with this, and I got to close. Tell me this. Why did FEMA respond back so quick to 9/11? They was down there already cleaning up the debris from the Twin Towers the very next day. Why did they respond so quick to 9/11 but took so long to respond back to New Orleans, Katrina? I'll leave with that.